Привіт усім, з вами Лірок. Це знову гра забуття і знову палац Шаугарат.
Well, look who's here. You. How about that? Well, well, you've experienced both shades of madness. Wonderful. You seem fulfilled. Full of fill. Bursting at the seams. Seamless. Now, to the meat of your endeavor. The crux of the situation. The reason for your being here. And the likely cause of your death.
Так, ну, в минулій серії ми втерлись в довіру до герцогині Деменції і до герцога Манії. А, в минулій до герцога Манії, а позаминулій до герцогині Деменції.
You'll be stopping the Grey March, altering the course of events, breaking the cycle. A fly in the ointment, a new cause for a different effect. We're going to change things. No, things will be different this time around.
Так.
You'll be my champion. You'll grow powerful. You'll grow to be me. Prince of Madness, a new Sheogorath. Or you'll die trying. I love that about you.
Окей. Доведеться нам стати недрічним принцем.
A fair question. You won't really. At least I don't think so. But you'll have power. My power. Try not to lose it. It's a pain to replace. But for all intents and purposes, you'll be me. A me to fight the him, since I won't be around. It's simple, really, if you don't think about it.
Тобто, ну так, він не буде битись, нам доведеться стати Шаугаратом, щоб битись Джигалагом. Все зрозуміло, майже.
Because you seem a nice enough sort, and you've made it this far. And if you don't, I'll swallow your soul and vomit it into the ever-filling chamber pot of the ageless. But mostly because I asked nicely. Well, not here. Didn't I say that? I'm never here when Jiggalag walks. It's one of the rules. I've told you too much for now. Listen to me. Rattle on. I can see your mortal brain straining. We'll talk more later. Now, you've seen the great torch that burns brightly over New Sheoth. No, because it doesn't. It should, but it doesn't. You'll fix that.
Так, потрібно запалити
You'll go to Cylon
вогонь.
and bring back the flame of Agnon to relight the torch. Oh, and take care with my minions at Cylon.
Окей.
In their eternal quest to please me, they're constantly fighting over Cylon. It can be tiresome, but really, it's divine. Divinely tiresome. Well, that's your problem now. Off with you. I don't want to see you again until the great torch is lit. I wouldn't want to have to hurt you much. Oh, don't forget to make use of dear Haskell. Between you and me, if he's not summoned 3 or 4 times a day, I don't think he feels appreciated.
Хаскела просить викликати частіше.
That's where you're going to get the flame of Agnon. Do you listen to anything I say? Do your ears work? If not, I can find use for them. Go and fetch the flame. Bring it to the Cecellum. Light the great torch. How are you going to be me if you can't even do what me tells you?
Безумно.
It's what's used to light the great torch. Haven't we covered this? You'll find it in Cylon, guarded by my saints and seducers.
Це охоронці Манії і Деменції.
The great torch shines brightly above New Sheoth, a beacon of hope for all the citizens. Except it doesn't! It's gone out! Happens every time the Grey March begins, which it has. Makes all of my subjects
March.
uneasy, tense, homicidal, some of them at least. We need to get that torch relit before the place falls apart. Aren't you the curious one? You know what they say about curiosity, though, don't you? It killed the intrepid adventurer who really should just be doing exactly what I say at all times! You're going to stop the Grey March by becoming me. Or a version of me. You'll be powerful. Powerful enough to stop Jigalag. He's on his way. So I'm on my way out. It's terribly inconvenient, don't you think? You're going to stop him, though. And the first thing to do is to make my people feel safe. Otherwise, they tend to go work for him. It's annoying, to tell the truth. A bit hurtful. But they do it every time. Join up with the enemy and become priests of order.
Священниками порядку стають люди, які тут живуть. Зрадники.
They're getting more active every day. Not a good sign. You know what would be a good sign? Free sweet rolls! Ho, ho, ho! Who wouldn't like that?
Да, хороший
Shut them
знак.
down where you can, and make sure to kill the priests you see around them. If you don't, they can reactivate the obelisk. They're the worst of all. My own subjects, working for the enemy. It's enough to make an old Daedric prince get all weepy. It doesn't help that they're the ones who make the obelisks work. A little chanting, a little ritual, and poof, Knights of Order. Bad news. Kill them when you see them. But don't touch the corpse until they're really dead. Which they aren't until you deactivate the obelisk. Come visit again, or I'll pluck out your eyes!
Ну, особливо нічого цікавого. Ой, це не сюди нам потрібно.
Welcome to the House of Mania.
Небезпечний він. Хоча тут усі небезпечні. Так. Нам потрібно піти в якесь підземелля або руїни.
Speak, citizen.
І там взяти
Hello.
і знайти священний вогонь. Але спочатку я хотів би дещо перевірити.
It is good.
Так. Ой. Спочатку я ось це хотів би зробити.
Always a good idea to protect yourself. I can help with that.
Подивитись, може щось рідкісне тут продається, у нього може бути іноді. Так, автозапис. Так, холодний вогонь Агнана. Тут великі руїни, наскільки я пам'ятаю, дуже великі. Так, я не знаю, що потрібно зараз робити, оце цікаво. Ага, з одного боку одні, з іншого інші. Так.
Hail. State your business. Cylon is holy ground. Then you are free to enter the shrine of the Flame of Agnon. This key will allow you passage through any door in Cylon.
Просто ключик дали.
The flame is lit from the shrine's 2 altars. Once the Orioles are driven out of Cylon, it will be our pleasure to light the flame for Shea Goreth. The Grukhedric Ulfri will explain everything. You should speak to her at once.
Так, двері відчинені. А стоп, а я вже... Треба допомогти або одній стороні, або іншій. Ну, охоронці деменції прикольніше виглядають. Проте, напевно, я буду за манію.
A mortal wandering the halls of holy Cylon, and a male no less. Then I am at your service. The Grakedric Ulfri commands here. You will wish to speak to her at once, no? The holy flame can only be lit from the altars of despair and rapture. You should speak to the Grakedric Ulfri at once. She will be glad of your help to rid
Так,
for Sheo
тут, напевно, нічого цікавого не буде. Підземелля, це ж з ними битись потрібно буде, я так розумію.
Begone, mortal, or you will soon find yourself between the Mazkin and their prey. A most Then you have arrived just in time to help us defend the altar of despair. Once the strength of the Oriels is shattered, I will be honored to light the flame as my lord Sheogorath commands. The two altars, blessed despair and holy wrap, only Sheogorath's immortal servants can kindle the altars, and I am at my lord's command. But I only hold despair. The Oriels hold rapture and are massing to attack us. But never fear, they are no. Once their main force is destroyed, with your help, we can easily take rapture from the few survivors. Then I will. Walk with our Lord.
Я так не хочу.
How may I serve?
Ні, я напевно з тією стороною краще б працював.
The Mazkin are unworthy to guard the altar of despair. Halt! Mortals are not permitted within the walls of holy
Манія ж
Cylon.
цікавіше. Це дедра вони.
My pardon, Lord. Receive this key, and with it free passage throughout the shrine of the Flame of Agnan. Alas, we cannot light the flame until we take control of the altar of despair from the infernal Mazkin. The Armazel Kana would wish to speak to you at once. Proceed through this door to our main encampment at the altar of rapture.
Тобто вибирати потрібно зараз. Прямо при вході. Нічого тут немає, а тут вогник. А вона прямо ось тут?
My scouts reported no signs of the Mazkin in the
Oh.
Underdeep. It's our best chance to take them unaware.
Too risky. It's likely to be a trap. They could cut us to pieces down there if they knew we were coming.
With all due respect, Almaz, I ask that you reconsider. The main passage is strongly defended. Perhaps if you allow me to scout further.
Enough. I've made my decision. We will attack down the main passage as planned. The Mazkin will not withstand us.
Cylon, greetings, stranger. Are you here to help us drive the Mazkin out? The flame is only lit at the command of Sheogorath. From the altars of rapture and despair, I'm sure that Armazel Kana will be glad
Цікаво,
to
що
help
він
you once the
чоловічої
Mazkin
статі.
are driven from the altar of despair. Alas, we have not seen the altar of despair for many years. It is in the underground part of Cylon, which is controlled by the... The Mazkin do not even allow us free passage to worship there, which is one of the many reasons why they are unfit to It is just there, at the top of these steps. You would pray for the blinding ecstasy, which is the ultimate reward for those in Shea. She commands the Oriels here at Cylon. She has just arrived with reinforcements from Belloc to end this stalemate once and for all. That's what we call ourselves, the most loyal and honorable service.
Ну, кожен
of
з
Shea
них
Gorath.
рахує, що вони краще служать Шеогарату, ніж інші.
Our home and
Але кожні
sanctuary
по-своєму
here is
просто
Shivering
це роблять.
the treacherous ones, the dark seducers of ill repute, whose every action drags Shea Gorath's holy name through the mud. My scouts recently discovered another way through the ruins to the Altar of Despair. The Armazel Canna wants to assault the altar down the main passage, but the Mazkin are expecting us to come that way. They've strongly fortified the main passage against us. If we attacked through the Underdeep, we could take them by surprise.
Можна туди.
If
Туди
only
піти
Canna would listen to me.
тим шляхом.
An attack down the main passage will end the same as it always does. A glorious defeat. She thinks the Underdeep is a trap. It's true. If the Mazkin knew we were coming that way, we wouldn't stand a chance. But I'm convinced the Mazkin don't If we attacked in full force, we could take the Altar of Despair before they had a chance to react. If only I could make Canna see.
Так.
Go.
Що нам потрібно тепер зробити? Так, потрібно подивитись обидва шляхи і подивитись, чи він. Чи його шлях надійний, ну. Золото. Тут, до речі, нікого немає взагалі. Тут купа всього. Ну, є тут одна. Я не знаю, вона нападати зараз буде, якщо. Так, і що потрібно зробити ще раз? Так, тут легко захищений. Так, і скільки жити ще? Ну, поки не бачить. Все нормально. Тут дуже багато їх. Йдуть нападати, якщо побачать.
Be gone, mortal, or then you have arrived just in time. Once the strength of the Oriels is for Sheogorath's glory.
А, тут можна було ходити і так. Ну, все, сходили. Нормально. Ніхто не нападає.
A mortal for Sheogorath's glory.
Потрібно було вийти тим самим шляхом. Але нічого.
The Oriels will soon.
Так.
This is no place for a mortal. We are about to join battle against the Mazkin. You... My pardon, emissary. I am at your service.
Тільки
We are
імені
preparing to
ж
sweep the
Гарата
Mazkin
вистачає.
scum from Cylon. Perhaps Sheogorath... Only the servants of Sheogorath can light the flame, by kindling the altars of despair and rap... Alas, we hold only the altar of rapture. The treacherous Mazkin... If you help us seize the altar of despair from the Mazkin, I will be honored to kindle the flame of Agnan for my lord. The flame is fed from the altar of rapture and the altar of despair.
Окей.
Only servants of Sheogorath can... Once we capture the altar of despair from the Mazkin,
Потрібно
it will be my
захопити і
great
все.
honor to light the
Або за
flame for
одну, або
Lord
за іншу
Sheogorath.
сторону.
The only way to assault the altar of despair is down the main path. It will be difficult. The Mazkin have fortified their position, but I am confident that with your help, will you help us retake the altar of despair and drive the Mazkin?
Так, але...
Ah, Miral's beloved surprise attack. A perfect example of why males do not hold command positions. He has failed to consider the risks of his plan. If the Mazkin have prepared an ambush along that, we're better off storming the main passage, where our superior strength and blade work can... Are you...
Ні, іншим шляхом підемо.
Are all males so obstinate? Have I not already told you that I consider that route too risky? What makes you think you can persuade me when my own lieutenant... You've seen this with your own eyes? I must be sure it isn't a trap if I'm to take such a risk.
Правда?
Miral was very convincing as well. Very well, we'll risk it. The Underdeep it is. May Sheogorath's divine madness possess us today.
Святе безумство.
Down with the Mazkin!
Ну все. Так, тут ми вже були. Стоп, а де вони всі? О,
Death to the Mazkin! For the glory of Sheogorath!
я так розумію, їх можна було в пастку завести, обманути, взяти. Давайте.
saints. For Sheogorath's glory.
О, стріли. Купи стріл.
Kneel before the saints. Eta Oriole. For Sheogorath. For Sheogorath.
Скільки тут стріл?
Mazkin!
Kneel before the saints. For Sheogorath.
Ой. Їм просто не дали шансу. Певно, вже годі стріли збирати. Або краще збирати тільки нормальні. Все інше викинути просто. Сім маловато. Срібна. Ну ось 8, 9, 10. Тут навіть 11 є. 8 також можна вже викинути. Я випадково. Що тут таке? А, тут все можна пообходити. Якісь контейнери, щось цікаве. Срібні стріли. Так, вони вже всі перейшли, поки ми тут. Та так, нічого цікавого.
Kneel before the saints.
For the mad god!
Так, є.
For Sheogorath. For Sheogorath.
Все добивають. О, скільки їх тут. А вона застрягла, бідна. Не може вилізти. Дев'ять і 10. Це свої.
Kneel before the saints.
Свої.
Eta Oriole.
Тут. Все, немає тут більше охорони. Купи стріл, ще доведеться викидати якісь. Так, уже напевно і на 9 забагато. Все. 10. І все. Все, здоров'я тут повідновлювали собі. Контейнери. Видно, спалюють в цьому вогні когось або щось.
Victory is ours. I have already selected a candidate for the honor of kindling the altar of rapture.
Так, і хто ж
I
цей
will now
кандидат?
claim the honor of victory for myself, here on the altar of despair.
Алтар відчую.
The altars can only be kindled by the willing sacrifice of a Mazkin or an Oriole.
Сама
It is
з'їде.
my great honor to release my soul to
Ось
oblivion in
звідки
service to Lord
урни з
Sheogorath.
попелом.
Farewell. I will not walk these lands for many a year.
А, вона відродиться.
Go.
Ну що ж, непогано. Ага. Ой. Загорівся вогник. Моляться всі. Запалився вогник. Так. Тільки найкраще. Так, вийдемо сюди. А тут кажуть командир. Переможний, я щось не бачив її. Не знаю, десь видно пропустив. На вихід. Вже з обох боків спокусниці. Так, а як це його набрати? А. Все. Прикольно. Так, тепер новий шот. Не знаю, де там десь. Десь зараз підпалимо щось. Куди йти? В храм. А десь горить вогник ще. Ану.
Blessings, citizen.
Ось як це працює.
You've brought it. The holy flame of Agnon. The fire of inspiration and rapture. If you light the great torch on the mania side of the Sacellum, you will be a hero to the people of Bliss, I assure you.
Тобто навіть після цього все одно можна в сторону деменції.
I knew I saw the glint of true mania in your eyes, my child. Go now and let the holy flame inspire the people of bliss to
Так,
new
він
heights
червоний.
of madness.
Другий не підходить. А куди йти? Сюди. А з того боку не можна запалити? Там зачинено. О, ще город. Він уже тут.
Greetings.
Hero's mysteries sell. Aren't you off to a good start? That's important. For me. Really, your work is going to save me a lot of time. The Grey March is upon us, and the ordering begins. Armies of order, sweep my realm! Death! Destruction! Then I have to pick up the pieces.
Доведеться
And there
збирати.
are always lots of pieces. I don't like it, having to rebuild my realm every era. Sometimes I forget where things go, like New Sheoth. I can never remember where it belongs. You'll change that. Break the cycle. You'll stop Jigalag, and I'll have my realm to come back to. I've never actually tried that before. Why not? Something has to work. Once I dug a pit and filled it with clouds.
Докопав яму, наповнив хмарами.
It doesn't matter. It
Бо
didn't slow
клоунами.
down. To be honest, it wasn't the best idea. And it really began to smell. Must have been clowns. Clouds don't smell bad. They taste of butter. And tears. But this is all new. A fresh idea. Something I hadn't thought of. Until I did. It's sure to work. Even though it might not.
Так, що далі?
Now, you'll need the respect of my citizens. They'll need a leader, someone to look up to when I'm gone. They're the backbone of any great land. Except where their backbone is an actual backbone. Ever been to Malakoth's realm? Oh, nasty stuff. But back to the business at hand.
Молока та не було ніколи.
You'll need to control one of the courts of madness. Replace a current duke or duchess, whichever. That will command respect.
Так, потрібно стати або
The
герцогом, або
people will
герцогинею.
rally around you. You'll have their love, their admiration, their complaints, whatever, as long as it keeps them on our side. No. No. Absolutely not. Well, yes, absolutely. Bit of a shame for them.
Ну, звісно, вони ж не
But
захочуть.
sometimes you need to break a few eggs or skulls. There are rules, though, even in the Isles. Rituals and rules. You need to follow
Так,
them.
потрібно якось прибрати.
Speak to Arctis and Dervenin, the high priest at the Seselim Arden Sul. They can explain what needs to be done. And you've always got our man Haskell to call on for help. Faithful, like a good hound, that one. And he looks better in a suit.
Так.
This time, I'll beat him. I can't stand losing, and I don't mind cheating. It's already started, but you might be able to stop it. We're making you into a leader that people can trust. Someone to look up to. Someone to blame. Once I'm gone, things usually get bad quickly. Lots of defections, lots of carnage, but with you at the helm, things will be different.
Ну, навіть не знаю. Чи нам вдасться все змінити, але чесно,
Come visit
вдасться.
again.
The only
Or I'll
mystery
pluck out your
is how
eyes.
he stays in business.
Bye.
Цікаво, як він піде. А він просто став.
The great torch shines with the pure light of mania, in accordance with the ancient tradition. Receive now the raiment of Arden Sul, in honor of your mighty deed in service to mania.
Не знаю, що це таке.
All right.
Так, він незадоволений.
You're revolting.
That's enough. I doubt it. What a wonderful
Yes, how we would all aspire to be as great a leader as the first. Our savior, Arden Sul, the greatest Duke of the Ages. We celebrate him with the ritual of accession, the path to maniac bliss. Have to watch for those scalons. An important part of our history, my friend. I would be glad to tell the tale if you have a moment.
Так, можна попросити, що робити, ну, хай розкаже трішки.
Arden Sul was perhaps the greatest duke to walk our land. Many years ago, he decided to hold a night of absolute indulgence, resplendent with dance, wine, and sex, to celebrate his fondness for his brethren.
Піддавався
The
всім
green
утіхам,
flowed
цей
like
Арден
water in
Сул.
a stream, as the revelers voraciously succumbed to its rapturous waves. Ah, but it was. As the bacchanal reached a crescendo, the people began to clutch their chests as their very hearts exploded.
Серця вибухали.
The green moat had taken its toll. The ground stained a deep crimson as the sanguine liquid flowed from their lifeless bodies. To represent that night, when the ruler of mania is to be replaced, he partakes of the green moat and allows his lifeblood to flow upon the altar. Certainly, when the ruler of mania has decided it is time, he will choose a successor from his court. The successor is invited to a huge celebration, a night of hedonistic revelry, wine, song, and of course, green moat.
Не знаю, що таке.
During
Green
this,
Mode.
the exiting regent imbibes 3 doses of the potent drug. This causes his heart to burst, and his lifeblood flows from his body. The
Цікаво.
successor then gathers the
Передозу
drug-tainted
помирає.
blood and brings it to the altar of Arden Sul in the Sacellum. Once this is done, I will proclaim the successor a duke or duchess. Then Sheogorath gives his blessing, and the cycle is completed.
Так. Так, а тепер потрібно поговорити.
Another sheep returns to the flock. I'm
Ритуал
disappointed in
деменції.
your choice. You'll find mania to be a fickle friend. I'm listening.
Так, потрібно, щоб він розказав нам усе.
You're wasting your breath. Really? Don't try to manipulate me. Remarkable. Stay away from the obelisks. Stray. Blasphemy. Never utter the name of the dark deceiver lightly. Though his body is beyond oblivion, his soul encircles us. He is the bringer of pain and pleasure. The blade that cuts through our sins like a scythe. Only a true demented can appreciate what it means to render his name.
Кожен по-своєму бачить цього Арден Сула.
Seldom is the subject ever Wait a moment. Did you want to hear the history?
Ну, цікаво.
As it happened so many years ago, my lord Arden Sul suspected a traitor in his midst. Not wishing to find himself on the wrong end of a blade, he gathered his flock by poisoning the sacramental wine. Arden
отруїти
Sul
вино.
was able to suppress any such
Це деменція.
conspiracy in one fell swoop.
Yes.
Всіх
He
вбив.
then removed their hearts from their bodies and used his ancient scrying technique, known as visceromancy, to read their lifeblood. When Ardensul couldn't divine the traitors' true nature in their hearts, he became distraught and took his... From that day on, the ritual of accession... Very well. Spoken to become the ruler of Dementia, the current leader's heart must be cut out and brought to the altar of
серце
Ardensul
потрібно.
in the Sacellum. Once this is done, I can pronounce the heart bearer a duke or duchess. Then
І потрібно благословення Шеогарату. Ну, це ми вже отримаємо. Ну, тут все просто, її просто потрібно вбити і... Так, їй можна Шеогарату розповісти. Що далі? Так. Ну, я думаю, ритуал манії веселіше.
You're back! How nice for you! Does that mean you've made a decision? A friendly word of warning, but once you've decided which duke to replace, there's no turning back. One
Можна
choice,
тільки одного
no more,
замінити.
no less. Try. So which is it? What will it be? Mania? Dementia? A safer choice, perhaps. Maybe you'll live through this. Aiden's a bit lost these days. Not that it's a bad thing. It suits him. Until now. Besides, won't it be a grand surprise when you make his heart burst from too much green moat? Thaden loves surprises.
Сюрприз буде.
Thaden may be in a constant state of euphoria, but I wouldn't underestimate his intelligence. He'll be here soon, and I'll be gone. Can't say I like the sound of that. I like the sound of other things, though. It'll be in full swing. You shouldn't be. But if we can get you into shape,
Ну, потрібно все зупинити, як завжди.
we will speak.
Так, і що нам потрібно зробити?
When your task is complete.
Треба спитати у них прямо там, прямо у них.
Speak.
Тут ніхто нічого не каже. Вже хтось тут... Хоч хтось щось розкаже.
Ah, you're the one who... If I were you, I'd check with Thedan. You can usually find her roaming around New Shea. You're no fun. I bet you don't like dogs.
Ритуал манії. Ну, деменція банальна. Просто вбити і все. Теж не цікаво.
Cylorn is ours. Speak quickly, mortal.
Так.
Speak, citizen.
Нам сюди. Поговоримо з помічницею герцога.
How can I... Take your time. I heard the gatekeeper was killed. I do hope one of my hatchlings wasn't responsible. Such a kind and noble man. In times like these, it's good to have a leader who still enjoys all the modern pleasures Mania has to offer. Well, yes. Apart from enjoying his painting, reading a good book, or a rousing night of erotic bedroom games. I'm speaking of Greenmote, of course. There is no
Вона все
greater
сама нам
pleasure.
розкаже.
If I didn't have such a busy daily routine, I'd likely indulge myself in its pleasures more often. Very well. I see little harm in telling you. After a bit of reading in the garden and running my special errand at noon, I like to shop at. Around 8 p.m. we are served dinner. Gundlar is quite a chef and prepares Thaden's meals personally, adding just a hint of green moat.
Треба більше додати в цей момент.
We dance, we sing, or we do whatever else suits my... Green moat is the refined version of the spores that are harvested from the spore trees that dot Mania. We keep the green moat safely tucked inside the green moat silo. You can imagine the ruckus if its location was known. Only a select few, such as myself, know the silo's location. Certainly. Yes, I must attend to him. Speaking to you...
Стоп. Ти ж спиш.
Again. There isn't enough gold or enough jokes in the world that would Farewell.
Стоп. Так, о 12 годині. За нею потрібно слідкувати. Це, напевно, буде довго. Так. Я цим уже займусь тоді в наступній серії. Цікаво, там серія почнеться. Як детектив. Будемо спочатку слідкувати, потім красти, потім смерть. Цікаво. Ну що ж. А на поки все. Дякую за увагу. До побачення.